Let's compare these two scenarios for when you would use insurance and when you would just expect to pay out of pocket. Now, this isn't about physical therapy, although this is going to apply to individuals who want to sell direct to consumer self pay services and not go through insurance. So, I had two experiences. We're going to talk about my house. A couple years ago, it was a really cold winter. We had an experience where a pipe burst. It got frozen, it burst, and it was shooting water all over the attic. Thankfully, we were home when this happened. Took a couple minutes, but we got down into the basement and turned off the main water valve. But there was still a good amount of damage. So there was damage to the ceiling, damage down the wall, and damage to the pipes that were running through the crawl space. So that was a situation where we reached out, we contacted our homeowner's policy. They sent out a cleaning and recovery unit. The insurance paid a large portion of the total construction costs. We just had to pay our deductible. But, at the end of the day, what happened? We had repairs made to our house. They had to paint, they had to do a bunch of work, and it was mostly paid by insurance. Now, scenario number two, it's 2024. My kids are finally old enough that they're not breaking everything we have in the house. And my wife and I want to make some upgrades. We want to make some changes. We want to change the color in the family room. We want to add some board and batten. My wife's been doing Pinterest. So we've got these ideas, but we're not reaching out to our homeowner policy because these aren't repairs due to damage from an accident. These are upgrades due to our desire to improve. That is very similar to what happens in your world when we're talking about physical therapy versus performance. If you're marketing physical therapy, the first thought that comes into the client's mind is injury, recovery, pathology. It's not, I'm feeling good and I want to feel better. It's, I'm broken and I need to be fixed. So if you're looking to build a direct to consumer cash pay physical therapy practice, you want to sell services that are beyond just recovery and rehab, I really think you should consider using different terminology. You should position your brand and your business in a different way. I'm 49, recently turned 49. I started running about 3 years ago because I was getting high blood pressure. I was gaining weight. There were a couple metabolic things that were going on for me. And I felt like it was time for me to make that change because I wanted my 50s to be better than my 40s. I wanted my 60s to be better than my 50s. And so I knew that this was a change I was going to make. I didn't go looking for a physical therapist to help me along that change. I wouldn't even consider looking for a physical therapist because as a physical therapist myself, I am still in the mindset of physical therapy is to repair, recover, rehabilitate, whereas strength, performance, improvement, that is in a different class. And I would expect to pay $200, $300, $400 a session. I would expect to pay $1,000 for a consultation. Like I would expect to pay a premium price, a painful price for somebody who's going to take me to where I am now, which is doing okay, to better than I am, as opposed to what I would expect to pay if I had a torn rotator cuff, had a rotator cuff repair surgery, and now I was expecting to go to physical therapy to get me back to pre-morbid status, to get me back to where I was. So I just think that a lot of it comes to how you frame the problem, how you frame the solution, and what the language is you're using. But if you want to call it physical therapy, you are always fighting an uphill battle, as opposed to calling it personal training, performance, lifestyle coaching, accountability coaching. There are so many other terms that you could explore when you're in that self-pay, direct-to-consumer, cash pay world.